2 weeks ago, two strange, disturbed young men set off two bombs at the end of the Boston Marathon. Now, when this sort of thing happens, a question immediately arises. Why? Why would someone do this sort of thing? And almost immediately, psychologists and sociologists start saying, well, it's because they needed to feel important. They needed to feel significant. They wanted to get attention. They wanted to feel like they were somebody. So, they did something to get some attention. They set off a bomb. That's how they made themselves feel significant, important, as somebody. Now, I suppose the desire to feel important, to feel significant, to be somebody, is quite a natural feeling. A feeling all of us have had from time to time. And of course, there are proper ways to be important, aren't there? But blowing up people, committing acts of terror, acts of violence, that is certainly the wrong way to become important, to be somebody. So the question arises, what makes someone important? What makes a person significant? What makes an ordinary person somebody? The Scottish Bible scholar William Barclay tells the story of a rather important wealthy man who was walking along the street one day when all of a sudden he came upon some homeless man asking for money. The gentleman kindly said that he was sorry, but he actually had no money on him. He carried not even a penny that he could give the gentleman. But he said he would give the man his hand in friendship. He would shake the man's hand. Well, oddly enough, the homeless bum was exceedingly happy to have this rich man shake his hand. He said for such a gentleman to shake the hand of such a lowly person made him feel important. It made him feel significant. It made him feel like he was somebody. So in this way, this gentleman had made this bum feel important by simply giving him his hand, a handshake in friendship. Here in San Antonio, we have a project called the Elf Louise Project. It's a project that provides children of economically depressed families Christmas presents every year at Christmas time. Now, this project was started by this young woman named Louise in 1969 when she was just a college student at one of the local colleges here. At Christmas time, she wondered what happens to the poor children who write letters to Santa and then those letters aren't answered. They don't get any presents on Christmas morning. She thought how sad that must be, and she thought, I wonder if there's some way I can do something about that. So with the help of a friend, she gathered together presents for the children of 13 poor families and then personally gave them out on Christmas Eve. 44 years later, 4,500 people gather every year at Christmas time to wrap and give away presents to poor children. This is called the Elf Louise Project. It all stemmed from this one young lady, this college student, having the idea, thinking about poor children, wanting to help them. Thinking, how can I do something to make them feel happier? How can I do something to make them feel important? How can I do something to make somebody else feel like they are somebody? So in this way, Louise herself has become a very important person, very significant. She is definitely in our city a somebody. Do you have the desire to feel important, to feel significant, to feel like you are somebody? Well, it's really quite easy. Simply set aside yourself, set aside your desires, what you want, and think about somebody else. Think about others. How can you do something to help somebody else? How can you do something to make somebody else feel like they are important, like they are significant, like they are somebody? In every town, there are organizations like the Ronald McDonald House, children's hospitals, shelters for battered women and children, places where volunteers are always needed, places where people feel downtrodden. They feel like they are nobody. But if somebody goes there and makes them feel happy, then they feel like somebody. They feel important. And the person who does that, that person is important. That person is doing something significant. That person is somebody. We can all be important. We can all be significant. We can all be somebody in somebody else's life. It's really quite simple. You just go out and do it. You can volunteer. You can help your neighbor. You can help people at work. You can be friendly to a stranger. You can give a smile where nobody else gives a smile, a handshake where nobody else gives a handshake. In this way, we can make our lives better. We can make our world better. We can make everybody feel important, and we can be important ourselves. In this way, everybody will be somebody. And after all, everybody is somebody and should be treated that way. Peace.